today on 2+U Nevada. What a strange journey 2025 has been. Coming up, Jeremy Roth will take a look back at some of the weirdest and wildest headlines of the year. It's also been a political ride, from Doge to Mamdani, redistricting to holding political lines. We wrap up the politics of 2025.
We just want to reach out to the community and give them something for the whole family to really enjoy.
If your thoughts have only been on Christmas and plans for New Year's Eve have gotten away from you, stay with us. We have a free, kid-friendly event to tell you about. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Do you have a Christmas Day hangover? Are your kids still riding a sugar high? You ready to kick out your guests? Not really, I'm just kidding. But we hope that you had a fantastic week of holiday cheer. This edition of 2+U Nevada is truly taking a look back at 2025. And I actually mentioned this in an earlier monologue here on 2+U Nevada, but since we won't be here for New Year's Eve, by the way, we're taking a week break, but since we won't be here, I thought I'd share this with you. Apparently, it's a good ritual for full moons, which are supposed to be a time of cleansing. I think with the turning of the page to a new year, it's also appropriate. If you want to stay true to a full moon cleansing, the super wolf moon is January 3rd, so just remember this for next weekend. But my Uncle Craig told me about this exercise. You take a rock and you take a full glass of water. You tell the rock all the things you want to let go of. You forgive yourself for the loss, and you forgive yourself for that letting go. Then you throw that rock as hard and as far as you can. Then you look at the glass of water and you say what you're wanting, what you're open to accepting, and the energy that you seek. Then you drink that glass of water. It's an act of accepting. Now, I'm telling you all this because maybe you want to try it. I'm certainly going to be doing this as a New Year's ritual instead of doing a New Year resolution. So, thank you for entertaining me in that thought, and thank you for tuning in this Friday. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining us this afternoon, Chris Ewing from Keep Truckee Meadows Beautiful, KTMB for short. And Chris, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
No, thank you for having me.
We are talking the annual Christmas tree recycling program. Of course, KTMB has been doing this now for decades. We just did the math. I can't get over how long you've been doing this.
Yeah, 36 years. We've been doing this since 1989.
That's fantastic. So for those who are new to town or just moved here, explain what this program is and how long it goes on.
The program starts on the day after Christmas, so Friday, December 26th. You take your trees down to us through January 11th. We have 2 weeks or so to bring down your trees, and we will recycle them into mulch for area parks. So what you need to do to get your tree to us is take all the tinsel off, take all the lights off, take any of the ornaments off, take it out of the stand, strap it to your car, throw it in the back of the truck, drive it to one of our 3 locations, either Bartley Ranch, Reno Sports Complex, or Shadow Mountain Sports Complex, and you can drop it off at one of those locations. There is a $5 or more donation requested just so that we can help keep this program going. And then there's a special weekend, January 3rd and 4th, where some of the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District stations in the outlying rural areas will help us and take trees out in Washoe Valley, in Lemon Valley, and Spanish Springs.
That's fantastic. So with these donation locations, especially the 3 primary ones that you mentioned, through December 26th, through January 11th, what are the hours? Is it all day? Is it after work?
No. No, it's not all hours. We try and keep our volunteers, because these are all volunteer staff. So we have volunteer staff, all of those. And we try and get them to go home before it gets dark. So we open at 9 a.m. and we shut down at 4:30 p.m.
That's really good, though. Good hours, 9 to 4:30. And like you said, luckily the days are getting longer now that we've hit the longest night of the year. But no, this is fantastic. And what I love is you said that you guys have also started a new program. Well, it's a couple years old, but Christmas tree light recycling as well.
Sure. Yeah, just any Christmas light recycling. We'll take the ones that are, you wrapped around your house. We'll take those too. You can bring them down to any of the Christmas tree locations, the 3 Bartley Ranch, Reno Sports Complex, or Shadow Mountain Sports Complex, or you can take them to any Greater Nevada Federal Credit Union location, and they will take them there on their big blue bins.
That's fantastic. Are there limitations on the lights? Because now a lot of people are switching over from the old school lights to LEDs. Is it all kinds of lights that you take?
Yeah, we'll take all kinds of lights. We just won't take the big halogen bulbs or regular household lights.
Okay.
Yeah, just your basic Christmas lights on the Strand. If they burn out, they won't work. You're just tired of using incandescent, want to switch to LEDs to be more sustainable, we'll take those too.
Yeah, you don't want to have to look through the entire line of lights for that one that burned out.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you don't have that light anymore, and you
can't find them anywhere. Okay, so no, this is great. And also keep Truckee Meadows beautiful throughout the year, because obviously the Christmas tree recycling program is one of your pillar community outreach plans that you have. But you also do so much in our community. We were just talking about how you have river cleanups, and go into Keep Truckee Meadows Beautiful and the other programs that you'd have for our community.
Sure. Yeah, we do 3 major cleanups. One of them is the Christmas tree recycling, thanks to the Nevada Federal NV Energy Foundation. They help us out with that. But we also do cleanups throughout the year. So we've got 2 major cleanups, the Great Community Cleanup, which will be happening in May, and then the Truckee River Cleanup, which happens in September. And both those are roughly 30 sites throughout the Reno Sparks locations, and even up the Rio from Verdi to Wadsworth, basically cleaning things up with over 1,000 plus volunteers for each of them on a Saturday. We just go out for about 3 or 4 hours and go nuts cleaning things up.
It's so nice that you do that too, because as we were talking about, I had taken my kids to the Oxbow, what's that called? Recreation area.
Yeah, the learning area. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had just finished the river cleanup, and it's so nice because it keeps our beautiful water resources clean and walkable. And if you're enjoying it in our community, you should be good stewards of it as well. So
Exactly.
How can people volunteer and help KTMB?
Well, the easiest way is to go to our website, ktmb.org, sign up for our newsletter, and that way you'll get something at the beginning of the month letting you know what's coming throughout the year. You'll know what's happening, and you can sign up right there on our website. You can visit our website, ktmb.org, and get set up, and we'll make sure that you can come out and volunteer with us.
And again, all of the people taking your Christmas trees and your Christmas lights, those are all volunteers as well. How many volunteers do you have?
A lot. We have a small army of volunteers. It takes, like I said, most of this particular event takes about 600 volunteers to run throughout the entire time, with the 3 different locations, running 2 different shifts. So there's a lot going into it. And then the other cleanups that we do take about 1,000 volunteers to go out and do all that, which we treat them to a nice picnic afterwards and stuff. So.
Oh, see, you get fed.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
Yeah, and we do it all because we try and keep the Truckee River as clean as we possibly can, because it does make up 85% of our drinkable and bathable water. So whatever you see going into the river is what you're going to be drinking or bathing in.
Chris, again, thank you so much. So where can people go to learn more information about the tree recycling and the light bulb recycling, as well as how to volunteer?
Yeah, just simple. Just go to our website at ktmb.org, and there you can find everything right there on the homepage with links, and you can sign up directly.
And do you have a phone number as well?
We do have a phone number, but because we are such a small staff, we're usually not in the office because we're out and about. But if you want to, it's 775-851-5185.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
You're watching 2+ Nevada. You are watching 2+ Nevada. Joining us this afternoon, Jeff Gallagher, the Director of Children's Ministry with Livingstone's South Reno. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
You know, I have to tell you, I reached out to Livingstone's. I reached out to you because, full disclosure, my neighbors and I, we were all together last Sunday at a potluck, and somebody said, I can't find anything family-friendly, kid-friendly for New Year's Eve. And lo and behold, I reached out on South Reno Moms, and your event was brought up, Glow Fest. And is that what it's called? Glow Fest?
Yeah, New Year's Eve Glow Fest.
New Year's Eve Glow Fest. And I'm so excited because this is an event to celebrate New Year's Eve that's specifically family friendly.
Absolutely.
And this is the first event. So go into why Livingstone's decided to have this family event.
Yeah. So, Livingstone's, we're a community-based church. One of the things I think is really great is that you first heard about this with a bunch of moms that you're having a potluck with, right? And so I think that really lends to who we are. Is we're really our goal is to be in the city for the city, and we just want to reach out to the community and give them something for the whole family to really enjoy. Not just something for the parents. I think that New Year's Eve is typically taken over by the adults. And so I have 3 boys, and we have a church full of families, young families that have a lot of kids. And so we thought it'd be a great idea to put on an event that the whole family could attend.
And what's super cool, if people remember, it was called The Grove. It was an event space, but now this is your location at Livingstone's South Reno, right there in the South Creek Shopping Center. So it's a very great location, great parking.
Yeah.
That's really important too for a New Year's Eve event. Great parking. What can families expect at this event?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the event, we're going to have, obviously, it's a glow fest, right? So there's going to be all sorts of different glow activities. A couple of things that I'm doing is we're going to have glow-in-the-dark bowling. We're also going to have a bounce house that's it's fluorescent material.
Oh, cool.
We're going to have black lights on the ceiling, and moonlighting is helping us out with that. So snacks, drinks, all that sort of thing, and music. We're going to have a DJ. And we're also going to we have a really large screen. I don't know how big it is, but it's massive. And so we're going to have New Year's Eve celebrations from around the world kind of playing on the screen. I know when I was a kid, that was one of my favorite things, was seeing what's going on in Sydney, what's going on in Beijing, what's going on in Paris. And so we're going to be able to see all of the celebrations happening from across the world.
And that's super cool too, because this event actually takes place from 6 to 8
Yeah, 6
in
p.m.
the evening. So good, because it's still kind of close to bedtime, right? But the kids are going to enjoy seeing the New Year's Eve celebrations, and they won't feel like they missed out,
Right.
and not hitting midnight here.
Yeah, or even trying to stay up till 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
So I have a 1.5-year-old, and even my 3.5-year-old, the thought of trying to keep them awake until 9 p.m. sometimes is it can be challenging, to say the least. And so that's what you're right. 6 to 8 p.m. is really a good window for most ages of kids.
Well, thank you so much for throwing this family-friendly event, because, again, it was kind of hard to find something in our community. And, of course, if you know of something at home, let us know. But I was so thrilled to see this event, immediately reached out to you. And another thing that I love that you said, Jeff, is Livingstone South Reno still is an event space for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you had said, previously it was known as The Grove. And unfortunately, after COVID, they weren't able to keep up with it as an event space. So again, we're a church that's in the city for the city. And so one of the things that we do is we offer the space to anybody to use it. Galena High School uses it. We keep it open for weddings still. We've had the fire department's been there to do things. So, I mean, kind of you name it. If you want to hold an event, you can absolutely get a hold of us at Livingstone South Reno. And if there's anything that you want to do, get married or host any sort of event, we have open dates on the calendar that people can look at.
That's fantastic to know. So you do want people and families to pre-register for the Children's Glow event, Let's Glow, at Livingstone South Reno. So where do people go to register?
Absolutely. So if you click on, there's a QR code on the actual image, right? So if you click on that QR code or scan the QR code, it's going to take you straight to a registration page that we set up.
We'll put that graphic up right now as you're saying that, because it's got the QR code on it. So look at your screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And so from there, really the purpose of pre-registration is for a couple of things, making sure that we have enough supplies for everybody that's attending. But we also have volunteers like security. So we have a security team that's going to be on site, kind of guarding all of the entrances and making sure that's a really, again, a fun, safe, family-friendly environment. And snacks, make sure you have enough snacks and all that sort of thing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We'll have you on for more events.
That sounds wonderful.
All right, Jeff. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Welcome back. Now for a look back at the top headlines from 2025. And let's just say we certainly hope 2026 starts off differently. This year got off to a tragic start with a deadly New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans. Just about a week later, catastrophic wildfires devastated Los Angeles. Bradley Blackburn shows us that was only the start of news stories that made national headlines this year.
Deadly flash flooding in central Texas killed more than 130 people in July, including 27 young campers and counselors at an all-girls Christian camp.
When I think about the trauma and fear that our girls endured, it makes me physically ill.
Wildfires in Los Angeles and neighboring areas burned for weeks in January, causing dozens of deaths and massive destruction.
We never imagined something like this happening, wiping out our entire community.
Wildfires during the summer destroyed historic buildings at the Grand Canyon.
Let's roll.
A pickup truck plowed into a crowd of revelers in New Orleans on New Year's Day, killing 14 people in what the FBI said was a deadly terror attack committed by an Army veteran.
He was 100% inspired by ISIS.
A gunman opened fire at a Midtown Manhattan office building where the NFL is headquartered, killing 4, including a police officer. 2 Catholic schoolchildren were killed in a shooting at their church in Minneapolis.
From Brown University, they're reporting an active shooter.
2 Brown University students were shot and killed in a classroom during final exams. A young couple who worked for the Israeli embassy was gunned down leaving the Capital Jewish Museum, and an Egyptian national firebombed a pro-Israel demonstration in Boulder, Colorado.
Both the helicopter and the plane crashed in the river.
In January, a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter and American Eagle regional jet collided over the Potomac River near Reagan National Airport, killing 67 people. In November, a UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after takeoff in Louisville, Kentucky, killing 14. 10 inmates who escaped from the Orleans Parish Prison were all eventually recaptured after months on the run. Brian Koberger accepted a plea deal in exchange for life in prison for the 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students.
You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to 50 months behind bars after being convicted of prostitution charges, but he was acquitted of more serious charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
These defendants.
The FBI announced the arrests of dozens of people, including current NBA players and a coach, in connection to investigations into alleged betting and poker schemes. It took him 11 years, but Rory McIlroy finally completed golf's Grand Slam when he won the Masters in April, becoming only the 6th player to do it. In hockey, the Washington Capitals' Alex Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's NHL record for most career goals scored.
Splashdown, Crew 9, back on Earth.
Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams finally made it home after their 8-day mission in space turned into 9 months. And finally, Dictionary.com's word of the year is 6'7". It doesn't seem to mean anything, but that didn't stop kids and teens from making it 2025's viral sensation. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
2025 was a politically volatile year as well. President Trump returned to the White House and certainly hit the ground running with his key political promises. There were also a lot of steps taken on both sides of the political divide to set up the all-important midterm elections come 2026. Natalie Brand has the political year in review from Washington.
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. Cut.
President Trump kicked off the new year taking the oath as the 47th president of the United States and wasted no time signing 26 executive orders that day.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
Okay, that's a big one.
DOGE, led by billionaire Elon Musk, went to work slashing the size of federal government, eliminating tens of thousands of jobs and dramatically cutting government agencies.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
But the new administration beefed up Border Patrol and ICE, adding thousands of new agents to enforce immigration policies and carry out mass deportations. The National Guard also deployed to Democratic-run cities, including Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and Chicago.
Your divisiveness and your brutality are not welcome here.
Border security was a key component of the Republicans' One Big Beautiful Bill President Trump signed into law July 4th.
You have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment.
Democrats argue the legislation makes steep cuts to SNAP benefits and Medicaid. The Congressional Budget Office estimates it will add about $3.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade.
You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough.
On the foreign policy front, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's February visit to the White House turned into a highly contentious Oval Office clash.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards.
Trump held a face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska this summer, and negotiations to end that war drag on.
This is a big day, a beautiful day.
President Trump did make progress in the Middle East, securing a peace deal between Israel and Hamas and seeing the remaining living Israeli hostages released. Trump declared tariff his favorite word and placed at least one on all U.S. trading partners.
It's going to be Liberation Day in America.
A standoff on Capitol Hill led to the longest government shutdown in American history.
There's no way out, folks. There's no way out.
Democrats pushed for an extension of Enhanced Affordable Care Act health subsidies. With impacts to SNAP recipients and the flying public, a handful of Democrats negotiated a compromise with Republicans to end the impasse.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
A bipartisan push also forced a vote to compel the DOJ to release all files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
We fought the president, the attorney general, the FBI director, the Speaker of the House, and the Vice President to get this win.
The U.S. Supreme Court looked at a number of challenges to Trump administration policies on its emergency docket, siding with the president nearly every time. One decision allowed Texas to move forward with a plan to draw new congressional districts for the upcoming 2026 midterm elections. Other Republican states have taken similar steps as President Trump tries to keep control of Congress. 2025's off-year elections brought wins for Democrats in the New Jersey and Virginia gubernatorial races and for self-described Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani in New York's mayoral race.
I feel very confident that he can do a very good job.
The country also saw political divisions boil over in heinous ways. The Pennsylvania governor's house was set on fire. Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered. And conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated in front of a large crowd at Utah Valley University, shocking the nation and leading to calls for all sides to lower the political rhetoric heading into next year's elections. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We continue our look back at 2025. This year brought entertainment news from the big and small screens to the concert stage, and from the corporate boardroom to stars in the courtroom. David Daniel has our Hollywood Year in Review.
The year began with a coronation and a controversy. Demi Moore drew a standing ovation at the Golden Globes as the Substance star won her first ever major acting award. Emilia Perez won 4 Globes and would go on to win 2 Oscars. But in between, star Carla Sofia Gascon, the first openly transgender actress nominated for an Oscar in an acting category, drew controversy for past social media posts criticizing Muslim culture and George Floyd.
3 carrots.
What about 4?
Oscar night belonged to Anora, which took home 5 trophies, including Best Picture. Writer-director Sean Baker became just the second person to win 4 Oscars in one night. The first, Walt Disney.
Keep going, quickly.
Taylor Swift's massively successful Eras Tour wrapped up at the end of 2024, but she had plenty more for her fans in 2025. She dropped The Life of a Showgirl, written while on that tour, and Travis Kelce dropped to one knee as her football player boyfriend proposed. The now engaged performer ended the year setting Billboard records with Showgirl and releasing a concert film and a docuseries about the Eras Tour.
16 carriages driving.
Beyoncé had a memorable year as well. Billboard says her Cowboy Carter tour was the shortest tour ever to gross more than $400 million and the highest grossing country music concert tour ever. She became the first black woman to win the Grammy for Best Country Album, and she finally won the Album of the Year Grammy.
Time to cut you down to size.
He's not exactly your average kid.
The biggest movie of 2025 didn't come from Hollywood. The animated adventure Ne Zha 2 made more than $1.9 billion, nearly all of that in China. In Hollywood, megabuck mergers and acquisitions further changed the showbiz landscape. Skydance Media took over Paramount Global in an $8 billion deal. Amazon MGM Studios took creative control of the James Bond franchise. After 2 years, Disney completed a $9 billion deal to buy out NBC Universal's stake in Hulu. And in December, Netflix announced a deal to acquire Warner Brothers, including HBO and HBO Max, followed by a hostile bid by Skydance Paramount for all of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Good evening, and welcome to the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live marked half a century of late-night laughs, with 16-time SNL host Steve Martin delivering the monologue. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban split after just under 20 years of marriage. The Oscar-winning actress filed for divorce from the Grammy-winning country singer in September. They married in 2006 and have 2 teenage daughters.
We all have an idea of what life can be.
2024's It Ends With Us led to dueling lawsuits in 2025. In January, Justin Baldoni, the film's director and co-star, countersued star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds after Lively filed a civil rights complaint accusing Baldoni of sexually harassing her during filming and then retaliating against her when she spoke up. Baldoni denied the accusations and claimed the couple had hijacked the film and tried to, quote, destroy him and his career. In June, a judge dismissed Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit. Lively's lawsuit is scheduled for trial in May 2026.
People started, getting what we were doing.
Hollywood was shocked as well as saddened by several celebrity deaths this year. Writer, director, actor, and activist Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were killed at their Los Angeles home. Police arrested their son, Nick Reiner. Rob Reiner was 78. Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner drowned while swimming in Costa Rica. He was 54. Actress Michelle Trachtenberg died at age 39, reportedly of complications from diabetes mellitus. And Oscar winner Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead in their New Mexico home. He was 95. Others we lost in 2025 included singers Ozzy Osbourne and Brian Wilson, actresses Diane Keaton, Lonnie Anderson, June Lockhart, and Diane Ladd, actors Val Kilmer and George Wendt, director David Lynch, and actor, Oscar-winning director, and environmentalist Robert Redford. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The most of what I've been given.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Planes landing on top of cars, pantsless cops, and shark threesomes. Jeremy Roth takes a look back at the weirdest, wildest, and wackiest whatnot that made headlines in 2025.
Prepare ye, for the end is nigh. The end of the year. Sorry if that sounded ominous. Was it the ye? It was the ye, wasn't it? Well, maybe we should be prepared because 2025 was so unforgettable, so unimaginable, so unbelievable, I don't know how 2026 is going to possibly top it. You don't believe me? Oh, how soon ye forget. Let's take a look at 2025. Where better to start than with some wild whatnot on the water? A surreal but all too real moment unfolded in icy Chilean waters when a father witnessed his kayaking son swallowed up, then spat back out by a huge humpback whale. The incredible moment ended with the 24-year-old resurfacing no worse for wear and later saying it was his life vest that pulled him back from the depths. A most unlikely traveling duo in New Zealand made headlines when researchers released video of an octopus hitching a ride on the back of a shark. Marine scientists said the ultra-rare ride share was one of the strangest things they'd ever seen and nicknamed it the Sharktopus. And then there was the shark threesome. That's what Australian researchers called a never-before-seen mating encounter with a trio of leopard sharks. A published study said only courtship interactions had previously been observed, never group activities. It also noted that when it was all over, the female left, and the two males lay motionless on the seafloor, appearing exhausted. There were plenty of close calls, like a speeding vehicle that just barely missed a man when it lost control and flipped on its side at a Nebraska gas station. The only thing that would have made this insane Dodge more insane was if the car had been a Dodge. But alas, it was a Nissan. So close. Another crazy touchdown happened in Florida when a small plane making an emergency landing crashed down on top of a car traveling along I-95. Amazingly, among the aircraft's 2 occupants and the car's lone driver, only minor injuries were reported. And in New York, an inexperienced teen driver learned a lesson in gravity the hard way when they accelerated too hard and nearly plunged their SUV into the Long Island Sound, but instead stuck a very lucky landing on a lower pier. As always, there was kooky criminal mischief and wacky whoopsie-daisies, like this artsy-fartsy faux pas at an Italian museum, where a pair of tourists posing in front of a crystal-encrusted chair accidentally crushed the delicate work, then fled the scene. Thankfully, restorers were able to fix the piece, returning it to its glittering former glory. A Grubhub driver arrested in Arizona for speeding and reckless driving landed in the hot seat, but his hot food order still made it to its destination, thanks to a pair of police officers who took it upon themselves to deliver the pizza and the news to the hungry customer. As always, there were loads of wild animal stories, like surveillance cameras capturing a cool-as-a-cucumber California camper keeping his composure as a wild mountain lion strolled by mere inches away, a wild bear caught on camera breaking into a California zoo to mingle through a fence with its captive bear brethren, and a goofy goat's Big Derpy mug catapulting a Wisconsin zoo to internet infamy, racking up millions of views to become the go-to meme for what you hope you don't look like when the flash goes off. Oh, and there was also one lightning bolt leaving drivers shocked in Canada, another setting off not 1 but 2 explosions in South Carolina, a ballerina striking a cool-as-ice viral pose under an Arctic cruise ship, a suspect sought for stealing a sculpture stuffed in his shorts, a golden toilet auction for millions, and a cop caught with his pants down.
You got some pants on, cop? Auctions?
Literally on a virtual courtroom call.
No, sir.
Whoops. But my personal favorite this year was the trifecta of substance-abusing raccoon stories. Yes, you heard that right. In Kentucky, one raccoon that got drunk on a distillery's garbage and nearly drowned had to be revived with CPR. Another was found by Ohio police in a vehicle holding a meth pipe. And yet another broke into a Virginia liquor store, got sauced, and passed out next to the toilet. But hey, no time like the new year for these dumpster-diving degenerates to examine their questionable life choices and make a fresh start. For Take a Look at 2025, I'm Jeremy Rod.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. You are watching 2+ Nevada, and I am so excited to have Marcia Cuddy-Brazel here, the executive director of I Got You Reno, and I am so proud of what you have done for our community in just a few years. Give us the history of I Got You Reno.
It is a very short history. Actually, we are only 2.5 years old, and we just became the first furniture bank in the state of Nevada. So in 2.5 years, we have gone from being in my garage, which my husband kicked me out of not long after we started, to having a 5,000 square foot facility in South Reno.
So proud of you. You recently broke ground on that location. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I can speak from firsthand knowledge because I reached out to you through social media and actually did a delivery at your home.
Yes,
and
you
just
did.
Coming from the standpoint of, you know, family, safety, security, etc. It's just amazing that you now have this location. So talk to me about how you sourced and got a physical brick and mortar space for I Got You Reno, and tell me about your event when you cut the ribbon.
It was so exciting, and it took so much work, and I want to say thank you to all of our volunteers who made this happen. I could not do this without them. We are an all-volunteer agency, so anyone who wants to come and help, please call us. We would love the help. We have so many opportunities for people to volunteer. But we started off, as I said, in my garage. Then we moved into what I thought was going to be a few storage units. Then we went into one small warehouse and got a second small warehouse, and plus the storage units. So this summer was the culmination of getting an actual space that people could come to. So we took everything from 2 small warehouses and 14 offsite storage units and put it all into this 5,000 square foot new space that we have.
And this new space, you broke ground in early December. This new space is not only a place for you to like store this space, but can people come to it and ask you for help?
They can, but there's a process. We work with referring agencies. Those can be other nonprofits. Those can be churches. Those can be the school district. Children's Cabinet gives us referrals. We work with 27 state, federal, and local agencies at this point. And if you are in need of furniture, in need of household items, please have your caseworker send over a referral to us, and we will get you in the process of it.
And in this 2.5 years, you have gone from just you to, you mentioned all these volunteers. Talk to me about, how you started this village.
It is a village that is truly, truly built on love, because the people that have been with me the whole time, they would not be here if they did not love me. And I realize this because it is dirty sometimes. It's long hours. It's incredibly physical work sometimes, doing deliveries and loading trucks and all of those things. And I could not be more grateful to our volunteers.
So now we talk about what you do and how young you are, but why do you do it? What spurred it, and why I Got You Reno?
It started a long time ago. This was a long time in my brain thinking and percolating. A long, long time ago, back in 2004, I was a single mom raising 2 my older children, and I did not have any help at that point. And I ran into some financial difficulties, as most single parents do. It's a very common thing. It's a hard, hard job. And our electricity got shut off over President's Day weekend. It was a long weekend. And quite honestly, I didn't have the money to pay Nevada Energy, or I think it was Nevada Power back then. But regardless, I didn't have the money anyway. So the one thing that saved us was this little house that I was renting at the time had a fireplace. And so my 2 older children and I pretended we were camping, and they were young enough to buy that we were camping this whole weekend. And they put our food outside so it wouldn't spoil. And in Nevada in February, there's no chance that's going to happen. So we spent the weekend camping. And it was literally so much fun. And they both remember it as a good experience. But when I went back to work after the long weekend, I asked my boss for a pay advance. And he said, okay. He said, but do you mind if I ask you, what you need it for? And I was really nervous about opening up to him, but he had always been very, very kind. So I did. I told him, our electricity got shut off and I just need to get caught up on some bills. And he said, okay. He said, I'm going to help you. This will be a one-time thing. And I said, okay. And later on, I found out that he told a friend of his, and that friend of his and this person's wife, were coming to the office quite normally. And we had seen each other in the halls, whatever. And so one day that week after work, he said, I would like to help you and your children. And I said, after they told me what they wanted to do, I said, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. I don't know when I can pay it back. And he said, no. He said, we don't want you to pay it back. We want you to be able to be okay and move forward. But when you get a chance, you need to pay it forward. And so here I am. I'm paying it forward. And
this is so beautiful.
And
what a beautiful story.
That person is still on my board. And I made sure to include him because I don't know what would have happened. He changed the trajectory of my life. He literally did. And all it takes is one person reaching out and just being kind and just offering what you have. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a simple act of kindness, saying, is there something that I have that you could use? And it's not a handout. It was literally a hand up. And I am so eternally grateful for that, because it just gave us kind of a reset. And it was literally what we needed at that very second. And it was so perfect. And
now look at what you are doing now.
I'm paying it forward, girl.
Oh my gosh. So if somebody wants to help you, oh my gosh, I know. Bawling. If somebody wants to help I Got You Reno,
yes.
What do they do? How do they get involved?
Okay. The first step is go to our website, please. Our voicemail gets full once to twice a day. You cannot even believe how much our phones are ringing, which is good. That gives us an opportunity to help more people. But go to our website. We have a contact button on our website that people can send in either a volunteer. They can tell us what kind of things they'd like to volunteer for. They can reach out to us with, hey, we have some furniture we'd like to donate, that kind of thing. We always need funding. Federal funding is very, very scarce, and it can be withdrawn at any given time, it seems. So funding is phenomenal, and anything helps. Anything helps. We take everything a household needs to be reset, from toasters and silverware to blankets and, bigger furniture like couches. And all we ask is that it's in clean condition. It's, it's ready to go on to its new home.
Marcia, thank you for everything that you do to serve community.
Thank you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. Are you a business or nonprofit and want to be featured on 2+U Nevada? Have a Mom to Mom Monday, a Tried It Tuesday, or even a cute pic you just want to show us? The whole point of 2+U Nevada is the plus you. You can send us your content by visiting our website. Head to 2news.com and click on 2+U Nevada. Or you can email us at 2+UNevada@ktvn.com. As we get closer to the holidays, we want to let you know that 2+U Nevada will be taking a holiday break next week, the week of December 29th through January 2nd. We will be back on the air in the new year beginning January 5th. That's it for this edition of 2+U Nevada. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.